Coming up next, Clint shares his top 10 cheap tools.
Tim teaches us to use a torque wrench properly, and we all learn which government agency you shouldn't lie to.
This is our Power Tool Week in Review.
This episode is brought to you by Ohio Power Tool. Pro tools, pro service, all at the best prices at ohiopowertool.com. And Ego, power beyond belief.
Welcome back, Power Tool fans. I'm Rob.
And I'm Sarah. It's May 15th, 2020, and today we're going to do the Power Tool news and share some tool videos you won't want to miss. Let's get to it.
Our first stop back is in New Zealand, where Mr. Brown gets his hands on his very first Hilti tool and promptly hits a pipe.
I hit a pipe.
Scott doesn't use Hilti on the residential job site. As he points out, Hilti's more common playground is the commercial job site, but he needs to do some commercial grade chiseling, so he asked Hilti if he could try one out. That is the TE800 AVR, an enormous demolition hammer from the people who know demolition. And Scott, he seems to enjoy it.
Oh, I tell you what, my verdict so far is it's very refreshing having a tool that does all the work for you.
To see if Hilti has a place in your tool truck, you can catch the video of Scott Brown Carpentry on YouTube.
You know, now that I'm working from home, you're kind of that tool that does all the work for me.
Sarah, you do a ton of... I'm not a tool.
Oh, says you. Let's head over to the most essential of craftsmen for a detailed lesson on the saw that built America. Of course we're talking about the Skilsaw Worm Drive. 2 years ago, Scott upgraded to the latest version of the Mag 77 and posted a review of the saw. In that review, he identified 3 features that he thought would be a problem. Well, it's now 2 years later, and he's back to give the saw a proper update and reveals that the 3 concerns turned out to be benefits. Scott thinks that he picked up his first Skilsaw in 1976, and that's where it all began.
And I picked one of those things up and I fell in love. I've used that more than any other single tool in my life, with the possible exception of a hammer or a nail gun, and I've got to tell you, I'm a big fan.
After giving us a thorough review, Scott teases us by revealing his brand new cordless worm drive, but we'll have to wait for the review on that one. To learn everything you've ever wanted to know about the saw that built America, head over to the Essential Craftsman on YouTube.
Let me ask you 2 things. Have you ever wondered exactly how a torque wrench works? Also, have you been yelled at by Tim yet this week? We can fix both those problems with one video. Mr. Johnson shared a fantastic video with us this week where he teaches us everything we could possibly ask about a torque wrench, including its history and the actual mechanics of the tool. In other words, what makes it tick? Or click in this example. Tim actually breaks the tool apart to give us a detailed inside look, and it's pretty fascinating. As it turns out, knowing how tools work can go a long way to helping you choose the right tool when you go shopping. So, before you buy your next torque wrench, be sure to head over to Shop Tool Reviews on YouTube.
We love a good listicle around here, and this week we head back into the tool review zone for Clint's top 10 inexpensive tools he can't live without. From tape measures to drill bits, Clint does a great job highlighting the tools you're likely to use most, whether you're on a job site or tinkering in the garage. There are a few items that surprised me, including a glue gun, which I've never used before, and his #1 pick is a rigid mini portable radio, which personally I feel like you could live without.
Are you calling Clint a liar?
What? No, I said like for myself.
Yeah, Clint, Sarah's calling you a liar, bud.
I did not!
If you're not as judgmental as Sarah, you can watch the video over at Tool Review Zone on YouTube.
You are so lucky we're social distancing right now.
Yes, I am. Have you ever heard the term RTFM? It stands for Read the
Flipping
Manual. It's the first advice offered to those of us who, don't.
Today, Rob Robillard wants to talk to you about that very thing. It's time for actual work with Rob Robillard. Hey, Rob.
Guys, I want to talk to you about storing tool manuals. Nobody does it. I've been working with tools for over 30 years, and I've acquired a lot of tools over my tenure. And one thing that I've always done is save the tool manual, and I file it for future repairs and part orders. I still do this to this day. While many manuals obviously can be searched online, it is way faster for me to just pull the manual, look up the part schematics, and get the replacement part number that I need. It's also useful when you need to square up or adjust a tool. Just the other day, I noticed that my Rockler ProLift router plate was dropping. The setting was dropping a little bit. Quick read of the manual instructed me basically to make a 1/4 turn adjustment on a few set screws. It was that easy, that quick, looked it up fast. Another benefit to saving manuals is proof of ownership if stolen. Who here saves tool receipts? Yeah, okay, they're filed somewhere, but if you do it, can you access them 4, 8, 10 years later? Well, several years ago, we experienced some theft of tools in a local Home Depot parking lot. Cleaned us out. The insurance company accepted tool manuals as proof of ownership, and they offered some compensation towards that. They gave a percentage towards those tools lost because we could show that we had the manuals. That's it, guys. We'll see you next week. Stay healthy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robillard. It's time for industry news from the Construction Junkie. First up, Autodesk is looking for construction innovators for their annual AEC Excellence Award. 4 different categories are available this year, including small, medium, and large-size projects, and an Individual Innovation of the Year award, which is intended to honor a, quote, pioneering individual who is using emerging technologies and processes that are new to the AEC industry for improved efficiency and productivity that result in smarter cities and smarter, more responsive buildings and infrastructure. Yeah, the only problem with winning that one is getting the new title on your business card. The winners will get a trip for 2 to Las Vegas for the 2020 Autodesk University, where they will be recognized. If you or your company are interested in entering the competition, submissions can be made until June 10th on the AEC Excellence Awards website. And before we go, the Construction Junkie has an important public service announcement. Don't lie to OSHA. Good one. In New Jersey, the owner of a residential home construction company pled guilty to lying under oath during an investigation that was sentenced to 2 years of probation and a $5,500 fine. They caught him by reviewing his text to his employees. People, we're talking about safety of your employees, and apparently years of probation and fines, so do yourself a favor and just don't lie to OSHA. Also, don't put your employees in danger. That's my own tip. For the rest of the construction industry news, head over to ConstructionJunkie.com.
On over to Instagram, Paul the Tool Pig has a Makita circular saw giveaway that ends tonight at midnight. He's giving away both a left and right-sided saw, so at least one of you will be happy.
Ethan from the Build with Ethan asks us, quote, do you even cleat, bro? Do I even cleat?
You just used a French cleat for the Build for Make or Break this week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do cleat, bruh.
You two should not be allowed to be friends.
Too bad.
Travis over at Tools by Design showed off an entirely new way to build a porch. I've clearly been doing this wrong my whole life.
Are you trying to turn me into a porch?
Yeah, that's it. Thanos was onto something.
And last of all, Man-Made in Massachusetts took a moment to focus on PPE this week, reminding us that our senses are important in the trades. So you should take care of all of them.
Ohio Power Tool just launched a new clearance section with a ton of limited deals.
Yeah, like this LS1018 Makita 10-inch dual sliding compound miter saw. That's $100 less than most sites and $20 less than the lowest we could possibly find. So get to it fast.
All right, that's it for us this week. But before we go, there was some pretty big news that came out this week.
Yeah, if you didn't see the video earlier, Ego sent us this teaser image that when we kind of toyed with it in Photoshop, we were able to see a lot more than we were supposed to.
It is sweet.
It is. It's going to be their new zero-turn riding lawnmower, which that's all we know so far. There are pictures. We talk a little bit about what this could mean and how it might work. Go watch that video if you haven't seen it yet.
I'll take 2.
Right.
I need at least 2 of them.
At least.
Speaking of Ego, thank you Ego and Ohio Power Tool for sponsoring this episode. We couldn't do it without you.
Yep, and be sure to watch Make or Break tomorrow. And of course, Sarah has her top 5 DIY twice a week now. And we've been able to kind of force a bunch of breaking news segments in throughout the week, and we're trying to make that more regular. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a thing.
We'll see you later.